Has something happened?
My daughter, Pavlena. Remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember. What's wrong with her?
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering around like that. She goes to Troskovitz to sell baskets, but she knows I can't manage on my own, so she never stays away for long. These old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. Pavlena has to take care of me. She's a good girl, that lass of mine. I'm very worried about her. You understand? What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I can't look for her myself, but you could. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I've no one else to turn to.
Do you think anyone might want to hurt Pavlena?
These are evil times, Henry. I dread to think what could happen to a young girl alone on the road. And besides, the folk in Troskovitz ain't too fond of us.
What have the Troskovitz people got against you? Did something happen?
I'd rather not talk about it, Henry. I wouldn't want you to get the wrong impression about us.
You live completely alone in the middle of the woods. Don't you think I've already got a bad enough impression of you?
And where else would we live, you genius, when we're not wanted? Don't go digging up old wrongs, Henry. And don't insult us.
Where exactly was Pavlena going?
To Troskovitz. She was taking wicker baskets she'd made. She sells them there and uses the coin to buy what we need. Sometimes it takes her a while, but this time she said she'd be right back. I have a bad feeling about this.
Did it occur to you she might have run off? She's a young girl and pretty. What kind of life does she have here in the woods? Maybe she wanted to live a little.
You don't know Pavlena. She's not like that. If she wanted to live a little, she'd tell me straight out. She doesn't keep things from me. Don't imagine I keep her here against her will, or that I don't know what it means to be young.
Pavlena is young and, well, no offence, but you seem a little old to be her mother. Is she really your daughter?
She is. Not by birth, but that doesn't change anything. Her mother died in childbirth, and there was no one but me to take care of her.
And who was Pavlena's birth mother?
A girl from the charcoal burners. They left the county, and I think she had no one else. I buried her myself. No one came for her.
And do you know anything about Pavlena's father?
I don't know who he was. Pavlena's mother was very young, and the fella surely abandoned her when her belly grew. She never told me nothing about him.
Well, as a midwife, I'm sure you've seen it often that, well, that the mother doesn't survive childbirth.
All too often, lad. But that's the lot of women. Or is it any different where you're from?
No, it's not. True enough.
See then? Now, can we just keep our minds on Pavlena?
All right, good wife. I'll try to find Pavlena for you.
Thank you, Henry. Like I said, she was heading for Troskovitz. You should start looking there.
All right. I'll ask around there for her.
And maybe you could look in her room in the loft. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you might find some clues there.
So, Pavlena, what have you left for me? Clothes. If she planned to run away, she'd have taken them with her. Hey, this is a boy's cap. Does Pavlena wear it? Or did someone leave it here? She's got unfinished work here. Like she got up and went straight out. I had a look in Pavlena's place in the loft.
And? Did you find anything?
I found a cap there. A man's cap. I don't suppose Pavlena would wear something like that.
You're saying she had some young man here? I'd surely have noticed.
I don't know, good wife. I'm just saying what I found.
Could she have found herself a beau in Troskovitz?
She didn't pack up her stuff. I don't think she was planning to be gone for long.
I told you, didn't I? Pavlena wouldn't run off.
She's got unfinished work there. She weaves baskets.
Aye, she usually has a few on the go. But she took them to the market in Troskovitz. We've got nothing here but what we make ourselves, or find in the woods. Pavlena weaves baskets very nicely. Folk buy them from her. It was good to see you, my friend.
I'd like to report an ambush. Some scoundrels attacked my lord's retinue and killed our men.
That's a serious matter. Where is your lord?
Well, he left.
I don't understand why he's not lodging a complaint himself, and why not directly at the castle. He has that right as a lord.
It's a long story. My lord got very angry and then went missing.
Sorry, fella, but I'm not sure whether you're making it up or lying to me. But if you were telling the truth, why don't you bring your lord here and we can talk it all over calmly? I'm sorry, lad, but until then, I've got more important things to do.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the man who was in the pillory with me yesterday. Have you seen him?
I can't help you with that. You'll have to find him yourself.
I need to speak with Sir Otto.
With the Royal Chamberlain? Are you yanking my official pizzle?
Why not?
I'd like to talk to him too, boy, but he's still in Prague. He's hardly ever here. Chamberlain Ulrich is in charge of things.
And where do I find him?
Where do you think? Up in the castle.
But they won't let me in there.
What do you want me to do about it? That's your problem. I'm not going to put in a word for you. I hardly know you.
I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of Bozhena from Zhelyov. She comes here selling baskets and other items.
Aye, I know her.
Do you know if she's been here in the last few days, Master Bailiff? I'm a bit worried about her.
I haven't seen her myself, but you can ask around the village. Try the houses along the road to Zhelyov. She'd have to pass that way.
Has Pavlena got any friends here? Acquaintances?
There's Roman, who brings us wood.
Roman? Who's he?
A woodcutter like his father. May he rest in peace. He lives just off the green. His hair is red like embers. You can't miss him.
And Pavlena's on friendly terms with him?
You could put it like that. Roman's pa wouldn't be too happy about his son being with an outsider like her. But all he can do now is look down and weep. Not that Roman ain't a decent lad. Honest and hard-working. It wouldn't surprise me if Pavlena left her ma to be with him.
Well, I don't think that's likely. Pavlena left all her things at home.
Still and all. You could go and ask Roman if he's seen her or not.
What can you tell me about Pavlena?
She used to live here with her mother. But then we drove them out. She's not the kind of girl you'd notice much. But she knows how to take care of herself. I let her come round here because, well, maybe I've gotten soft in my old age. But I reckon children shouldn't have to pay for their parents' sins. Don't you think?
Why did you drive them out of Troskovitz? What happened?
Bozhena was our midwife. It ain't the cleanest trade, but it's needed. Women all over the domain used to call for her help with births. Only, as it turned out, bad help is worse than no help at all. I won't go digging up old grievances, but believe me, we had cause enough to drive that old witch out of here.
Do you think anyone here would want to hurt Pavlena?
Troskovitz is a decent village. You'd better watch your mouth.
Go! Whoa! Whoa!
You shouldn't be bothering us here.
What's that I hear? Hey! Greetings. Do you need something?
Have you seen a young girl selling baskets here? Her name is Pavlena.
Oh, she's been hanging out with Roman from next door. Maybe they went off somewhere together? Dushko, my husband, was looking for Roman. Better ask him.
Farewell, my friend.
That's right.
Roman! Has anyone seen Roman?
You're looking for Roman? I also need to find him. To ask if he knows where Pavlena is.
That sweetheart of his? Well now, I hadn't thought of that. They could be together somewhere, so you can help me look for him.
Where do you think Pavlena and Roman might be?
Not long ago, Roman was talking over a beer about how him and Pavlena wanted to leave and start a new life. Somewhere where no one knows her and her ma.
You think they'd really do it?
I took it all with a grain of salt, but after what he told me last time, anything is possible. For Christ's sake, he's got a whole house his pa left him. He wouldn't just leave it on account of her, would he?
I don't know about Roman, but I've been at Pavlena's, and it didn't look like she was getting ready to leave.
She might have done it in secret, and she'd have reason enough. Believe me, best to go and look in Roman's house. That should clear things up.
Wait, though. What was it you were going to say about Pavlena? What did Roman tell you? Why would he want to move away with Pavlena now?
No, I shouldn't have said anything. I promised I wouldn't tell anyone.
Listen, I really need to know about it. It might be important. Something could have happened to Pavlena, and any little thing could be a clue.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. It ain't really a little thing. Well, it is, and it isn't. Pavlena is expecting a child. It's Roman's bastard.
Really? And who else knows about it?
Roman says he told only me. But who Pavlena might have told, I couldn't say. I don't reckon she's got many friends, though.
Now I see why they wanted to leave together.
Aye, that's just what I was thinking. We really should check out Roman's house. Then we'd know for sure.
All right. Let's go and take a look at Roman's.
Great, that is, you can go there.
Hang on, you said you two were friends. Why would I go there alone?
For one thing, I have to work. And besides, how would it look if anyone saw me breaking down his door? My reputation would be ruined, whereas you, no offense, you're a stranger. You don't have to worry about your good name, do you? But me, I'd lose my livelihood.
Well, I can do it. But you ought to give me something. For insurance. I'm the one sticking my neck out here. Well, if I'm caught there, I'll need a few groschen to bribe the catchpoles. So I don't end up in the stocks.
True enough. Here you are. This ought to do it. After you search the place, come back and let me know what you found. I'll be around here somewhere.
Stay.
Nobody home. But maybe Pavlena was here. It's set for 2. Freshly eaten. And there are the baskets Pavlena came here to sell. They were here for sure. Maybe they just went for a stroll. Dushko might know about their favorite spots.
Heel! I searched Roman's house.
And what did you find?
Well, there's no one there, but Pavlena had been there for sure. The table was set for 2, and I found the baskets that she sells too.
You're right. It sure does look like she was there.
It can't have been long ago either. The food was still fresh. Any idea where they might have gone?
Well, they've got a favorite spot down by the stream. You could try looking there.
Where exactly?
There's a ditch leading from Roman's house to the stream. Follow it down the hill. When you come to a place where the stream flows between the 2 big boulders, turn left and go straight. There it is, under an old linden tree.
All right. Thank you.
But, mind you don't walk into the middle of anything, awkward. And tell that lazy bastard to get his ass to work. I'm not going to do his work for him. See you later.
Everything all right, eh? This must be the place Dushko was telling me about. How the local lads bring their girls over here. A trail of blood. We should see where it leads.
Christ, there must have been a fight here. This is surely Pavlena's. A piece of her dress. This doesn't look good.
If I give it to Mutt to sniff, he might catch a scent.
Search. covered in blood.
Used as a weapon, maybe.
Stop there! Don't come any closer, or I'll cut her throat. I swear to God, don't try any tricks. Turn around and go put that weapon away. If you don't put it down, I'll kill her. Don't move, you whoreson. Who the fuck are you?
That's none of your business, you stinking coward. Let her go, right now.
Watch how you talk to me.
If you hurt a hair on her head, your own mother won't recognize you when I'm done with you. I'll hut you to pieces and throw you to the pigs, like the filthy piece of dirt you are.
Shut up and save your threats. You take one step towards me, and I'll slit the girl's throat. And then I'll deal with you. I asked you who the hell you are.
Who I am is none of your concern.
It damn well is. Tell me, or she gets it. What are you doing here? Who sent you?
Her mother sent me. She worried about Pavlena.
Shit. I might have known that old witch would send someone. Kurva. I never wanted it to end like this. You gotta believe me. I just wanted to give Pavlena a scare, but then that fool Roman got mixed up in it and... I never meant to kill anyone. shit!
Take it easy.
Don't fucking tell me to take it easy! How did you get here? My dog Bristly was guarding the entrance. What did you do to him, you bastard? And where's my brother? He should have been here long ago. Talk, or I'll slit her throat.
I chased your dog away.
Bristly would never run from a chicken shit like you. You're bullshitting. You want me to slit her throat?
No, no, calm down.
Then stop lying to me.
Listen, you have to let Pavlena go. She's pregnant. She's expecting Roman's child.
What? How do you know?
Roman told Dushko, and Dushko told me.
Oh, shit. We killed the baby's father.
Let the girl go. She's suffered enough.
All right, I'll let her go. But on one condition. You'll let me walk away. Will you promise that?
You have my word. Just set her free.
All right. All right. All right. Just take it easy.
You swine!
I'm letting her go.
Die!
Look!
Die! Die! That's for Roman! You bastard! Mary, Mother of God!
You killed him. But he let you go.
So what? He deserved nothing better.
No, you're right. He had it coming.
Yes, for what he did to Roman. I have to get out of here. Will you take me back home?
We can go. I'll go with you.
Good. I don't want to spend another moment here.
Of course.
Let's go then.
Here we are. Pavlena's fine.
Pavlena, let me look. Are you all right?
I'm fine, Ma. They
abducted her.
God almighty. Who would do such a thing?
They were hired hands from Troskovitz.
And did they do anything to you?
No, they just tied me up. But they were Yakesh's hands. They would have killed me.
Yakesh? I might have known he wouldn't leave us in peace. Hasn't he hurt us enough already? Isn't it enough that we have to live here because of him?
Ma.
I knew it would come to this. Henry, I need one last service from you.
I'd be glad to help.
Yakesh is to blame for everything. For us being driven out, for Pavlena being abducted.
And for everything else.
Everything leads back to him and his old hatred. We'll never have peace as long as he's alive.
What are you trying to say?
I want you to kill him.
What? Are you serious?
Yes. It's either him or us.
What happened between you and Yakesh?
That's old history.
It was because of him that they drove us out of Troskovitz.
You lived in Troskovitz?
For generations. I was the midwife there for years, just like my ma before me. So many children we brought into the world. Yakesh is too, except for one.
What happened?
The birth started sooner than it should have, and Yakesh didn't send for us on time. He thought since Ludmilla had already given birth to 3 children, she'd managed the 4th on her own. Little Marushka came to get us, though, but by the time we arrived, it was looking bad. I did what I could. I gave her poultices and herbs to inhale, but the child was feet first and wouldn't come out. No matter what we did, it clung on and wouldn't budge. In the end, it died. When we finally got it out, it was too late.
He was, ripped apart. I remember that.
Pavlena. It was a boy. Yakesh's only son. He wouldn't listen. He had to look at him. Right after, he threw us out. Ludmilla died during the night, probably all alone, from exhaustion and pain, or maybe distress. Yakesh blamed us for everything, and the whole village listened to him. They drove us out.
Past the boundary stone.
Yakesh turned all his anger and hatred against us. But it was us who tried to save his son.
I don't think it was your fault. These things just happen in life sometimes.
Aye. Everyone dies.
Yes.
I, understand. And I agree. I'll do what you ask. It's only right and just.
You will? It really must have been the will of God that you crossed our path. Thank you, Henry.
Good to see you.
Who are you praying for?
For my son, Yaroslav.
How come he's buried there, and not at the cemetery?
He died during birth, and was never christened, so he couldn't be buried in the cemetery.
God have mercy. I'm sorry about that.
Aye, me too. If it hadn't been for that treacherous old hag, he wouldn't be here under a tree. He'd be in the churchyard, as he ought to be. The poor, innocent soul. Or standing right here next to me,
Old hag? Who are you talking about?
The midwife, Bozhena. My wife, Ludmilla, gave birth to 3 daughters. Quick and easy every time. The village women often scream all day and night before they bring their babies into the world. Not my Ludmilla. When she had Marushka, it was all over before the midwife even got here. But when Yaroslav was coming into the world, you know, I knew already I'd finally have a son. I never sent for no help. Why would I? After all, Ludmilla done it all on her own 3 times. And besides, that Bozhena is an unclean woman and a witch. Only this time, something went wrong. Of course, I wasn't there. Being a god-abiding man, I was outside. But Marushka comes running out, shouting, "Pa! Send for Bozhena! Ma's poorly!" I thought twice about it, but then I sent for her. She came along with a little girl, Pavlena, and a whole sack of herbs. She started brewing right away, and before the night was out, she was pouring God knows what kind of concoction down Ludmilla's throat. It's a wonder she didn't poison her, the crone. I couldn't get a wink of sleep all night. It wasn't till daybreak that Bozhena came out of the house, carrying in her arms. They could see right off it was a boy. Like I said, only Yaroslav came out feet first. And as they were pulling him out, well, he was all Mother of God. I can't even say it. It was that Bozhena's doing, I tell you. If she hadn't pulled him out and left Ludmilla to manage herself, he could have lived.
I'm sure Bozhena didn't want to hurt your son. She was trying to help.
Help? By killing my son and condemning him to damnation? I asked the priest, and he told me every midwife has the sacred right to perform baptism when things go wrong. Like when it looks bad for the child, see? She can baptize him, make sure he gets to heaven. And you know what Bozhena did?
What?
Not a thing. She looked at that little body lying still and didn't do a damned thing. And my wife died a few hours later. So don't you tell me Bozhena was trying to help. That same evening, I got the other fellas from the village, and we drove that damned witch out beyond the boundary stone.
I see. She lives in the woods now.
A good thing, too. She hasn't shown up here since. Many times I told myself we should have done more to her, so she'd know how I felt.
I understand your pain, but it wasn't Bozhena's fault. She saved my life when I was wounded and lost in the woods. She's a good soul.
That's all well and good. But believe me, that witch will never wash clean her sins.
I'd like to ask you more about your son, Yaroslav, if that's all right with you.
Ask away.
What about your other children?
One of my daughters got married and moved out. Marushka and Olina are still here. Once they get married, I'll be left all alone on the farm.
Why? One of them could live on the farm with her husband, couldn't she? Lots of fellows would give the right arm for a place like this.
Aye, true enough. Only a father should pass his livelihood on to his son, goddammit! Don't tell me it's different where you come from.
Well, I only got to know my father recently. He's the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla.
You, a noble? That's a hard one to swallow.
Just because I'm not dressed up in my Sunday best doesn't mean my father's not a noble. I really am Sir Radzig's bastard. My ma was a commoner, so she couldn't marry Sir Radzig. Fortunately, his loyal subject Martin took her in and raised me like his own.
Out of duty?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you. But however it started, they became close. And later, when they died, Sir Radzig took charge of me. So actually, I have two fathers.
God's will. There are times I wish I'd died before Yaroslav. I'd have saved myself all the misery since then. And all that's still to come.
When did your son die?
Well, Yaroslav would have been 5 years old now.
I don't have any more questions. Thanks.
Look, I know relations between you and Bozhena the herb woman aren't good, but it's time to put an end to the animosity.
Where are you going with this? That witch deserves no pity.
I understand your bitterness, and I'm sorry about your son. Bozhena would certainly have saved him if she could, but whatever happened between you, it has to end now. Bozhena came very close to losing her daughter on account of your feud.
Your farmhands abducted her, and they killed her sweetheart.
But I had nothing to do with that. They did it of their own free will, not on my orders.
That means nothing. They did it because of you. They wanted you to be indebted to them.
But that's not my fault, and I don't see why I should have to make up with Bozhena on account of it.
You're lucky I saved Pavlena. She's expecting Roman's child, the child of a man who your hands killed. If I hadn't stopped them, they'd have killed her too, along with the unborn child.
By all the saints, Shit! You're right. It's time to put an end to it. And don't worry, I understand it won't be so straightforward. I'll send Bozhena compensation. I never wanted anything to happen to her daughter, and she's the one who suffered most from that banishment. She can't have been more than 10 years old. I give my word that I won't do anything bad to them. And those two fools of hands, they won't show up here again. And if they do, I'll haul them off to the bailiff myself. I swear to God, Bozhena and Pavlena could return to the village.
Very well. It's about time this chain of vengeance was broken for good. Give me the money, and I'll take it to Bozhena. But God alone knows whether she'll forgive you.
Thank you. It's time for us all to get on with our lives. I hope Bozhena will understand that.
Gather round. You won't believe this. The whole village burnt to the ground. How on earth, just a few days' walk from here? You have to hear this. In silver scallops, they say. Without warning, attacked by Cuman troops. In one afternoon, they burned down the whole village, killed all the villagers, and drove the local lord out of his own castle. Huh?
Whoa! Whoa! Go! Whoa! Whoa!
You're...
About Yakesh.
Is it done?
I didn't kill him, because I finally managed to get him to agree.
Agree? On what?
I told him everything, and it was clear from his reaction that he wasn't directly to blame. His farmhands did it all by themselves. He was so sorry that he gave me coin for you and Pavlena in recompense. It's quite a lot of money. Pavlena could use it.
And you really believe him? That he'll leave us alone?
Well, I don't think he'll ever forgive you. But I believe he won't try to hurt you anymore.
I hope you're right. I'd hate to regret it later. Thank you, Henry. If it wasn't for you, I'd have lost my daughter. You should keep half the coin.
Thank you, good wife.
And we thank you. Come and visit us sometimes. And if you need anything, we'll be here for you. Take care, my friend.
So, how are you doing?
Well, not bad, all things considered. I mean, with all that happened over the past few days.
I understand. I didn't want to upset you. I was just wondering if you had everything you needed, and so on.
You're so sweet, but we're doing all right. Don't worry about us. What we need and can't make ourselves, we buy. We earn some coin from my baskets and Mother's medicines, but mostly we live off what the forest provides. Ma taught me about every flower, root and mushroom, so I pick a lot of things. Ma can cook a hare like no one else, so I bring a lot of them. I can hit one at 30 paces. Sometimes we even eat venison. I can shoot a deer at 50 paces, but don't tell anyone.
Of course. You can trust me. Hitting a hare at 30 paces, that's some serious marksmanship. I'm not sure I could do it. Perhaps you could teach me a few tricks.
I'd be happy to, but don't expect any miracles. You just need to know your way around the forest and practice a lot. And when you live alone in the forest, you've got plenty of time for that.
I'd like you to teach me something.
It can be done, but it doesn't come free. What are you interested in?
I reckon you've got a few tricks in your pocket to get into other people's pockets.
Thanks. I'll teach you one trick, but it'll take time to learn it.
I'd like to learn something.
And what would you